We have an update on Elias Pettersson, who might be dealing with an injury. A Canucks player has been named as a finalist for an NHL award, and with the Canucks' historic comeback versus the Predators, they did break history on a lot of things. We'll get into this later on this episode. Before I start, I just want to say to thousands of you watching that aren't subscribed, if you're enjoying this daily content on the Canucks and you never want to miss another episode, make sure to go down and hit that subscribe button. We'll be all season long giving you updates from all around the Canucks. But with that, let's hop straight into the first topic today, which is Elias Pettersson dealing with injuries. Now, there was a report that came out on the Donnie and Dolly podcast, and they did just kind of talk about Elias Pettersson's health and if he's dealing with an injury. And they said, in fact, I've been told he's not 100%. Now, obviously, a lot of Canucks fans have been noticing that Pettersson isn't playing to what we were expecting or what we were hoping for. And just looking at Pettersson's stats, I mean, this season alone, 89 points in 82 games. He was having a great year. But since the playoffs came around, since towards the end of the season, he hasn't been himself. We've seen him kind of drop off in point totals, his play, everything has looked a tiny bit sluggish, and especially when you compare his second season in the league, 2019-2020, when he put up 18 points in 17 playoff games. And just, Griffin, what's your thoughts on Pettersson? Is it kind of obvious with these reports coming out that he's not playing at 100% since we kind of seen him slowly decline just after the contract, which a lot of people aren't happy about? But obviously with his injury, have you noticed that maybe this is what's affecting him?
Yeah, I think it definitely could be what's affecting him. It would explain a lot of the frustration that us and fans have been having with him through this first playoff series and the latter half of the season, especially in contrast with what he's been doing, what he did in the early part of the season, what he did in his first playoff run, like you said, with a lot of points in not many games. But yeah, he's definitely looking to get back on the healthy track and hopefully he'll get back to 100% because they definitely need him.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. And when you do look at the Canucks, this team is up 3-1 against Nashville. I know a lot of these games they've really squeaked out, especially the last game, which we will get into. But the big thing is they're playing without some of their top guys really stepping to that next level. Obviously, JT Miller's been great. We've seen Elias Lindholm pick his game up. We've seen Brock Boeser just carry the team to a win. And when PD does get back to 100%, we're going to see this new and next level of the Canucks. And maybe this is what fixes the power play. So what are your guys' thoughts on this, on just Pettersson dealing with maybe an injury and this being the reason of his play being a little slower than we were expecting? But we'll hop straight into the second topic today, which is Demko named as a Vezina Trophy finalist. And we did see from Chris Johnson where he did name the three Vezina Trophy finalists in Sergei Bobrovsky, Thatcher Demko, and Connor Hellebuyck. The big thing with this is you do look at Demko, and he was having an outstanding season. He had a great first playoff game. But the biggest thing with this, obviously he is named as a finalist, but it does seem like slim chances that he will win this. And what's your thoughts on Demko possibly winning the Vezina?
I think it's great for him to be nominated. I think he definitely is worthy of the recognition. He absolutely was one of the top three goalies in the league this year, arguably the best. And had he played the full season and didn't get hurt, I absolutely think he could steal it from Hellebuck. But because he didn't play the full season and was hurt and is injured in these playoffs, I know the awards are for regular season for the most part, but in the postseason it does matter a lot. It seems as far as like recency bias, but. Uh, that said, I think he still had a phenomenal season. Lots to look forward to heading into next season, and it's all a matter of management, not having him start too many games, not leaning on him too much, and having that solid backup to be the safety valve. And I think Vancouver's getting one step closer to that every game.
Yeah, that's a big thing. I think with him dealing with a few injuries throughout the season, heading into the postseason, this is going to kind of halter his chances of winning. I mean, there is still a chance he does win it. It is tough competition with obviously Sergei Bobrovsky being the best team. Well, sorry, on the best team in the NHL. Then you have Connor Hellebuyck that led the Winnipeg Jets to an outstanding season. So it's going to be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if he did win it, but it's not one of the awards that I'm dead set on. Like I do think Tocchet's 100% going to win the Coach of the Year, and we see Hughes that's obviously going to win the Norris. But with that, we'll get into the third topic in this video, and that is Canucks make history. And with this, there is multiple things. The first thing I did want to point out, and we did kind of touch on a few of these things in the video yesterday. The first one being that the Canucks are the first team to have three different goalies earn victories in the same playoff series since the Vancouver Canucks did it in 2004. Now, obviously, we see the three goalies of Smith. We have Demko and just everything that's happening. What's your thoughts on them having three goalies and being the first team that did it since 2004?
I think it's really cool that it's the first team that's done it since 2004, and it was the Canucks at that. It almost reminds me of a football team that's going through a bunch of quarterbacks because they keep getting injured, but the team keeps revolving around whoever's behind center and just getting the win no matter what. They're fighting tooth and nail for it, and the wins aren't pretty, but again, they don't ask how, they ask how many.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like we've seen Seeloff's come in, he played outstanding last game. We've seen Casey Smith really step up in the games as well, and we've seen Demko look outstanding before his injuries. So it's a nice thing that the Canucks do have three goalies. I know Rick Tocchet did do an interview, I think it was yesterday or early today, and he said, "Listen, we do have a goalie," and he said, "I don't remember his name or much about him. I don't want to have to start him." So I think he is trending towards wanting to keep Seeloff, Casey Smith, and if Demko returns, obviously him as the starting goaltender. But the other historic things that the Canucks did was just revolving around Brock Boeser. He becomes the sixth player in franchise history to score a hat trick in the playoffs. And we also see Brock Boeser tying goal was third time in franchise playoff history that scored a game-winning goal with less than 10 seconds to go in the third period. And just all these historic things and everything like this, it seems like the Canucks are looking at a great run, and obviously they're going to be breaking a lot of records. I'm sure this is not the last time we'll see Brock Boeser score a hat trick. Hopefully it's not going to be a situation where he has to score in order for them to win. But what's your thoughts on them just breaking a couple of records in the franchise, starting three goalies when no other team has done it since 2004 and all this stuff?
It's crazy how this playoff run has become kind of like it could potentially be a historic one just based on just sneaky records like that alone. Because, like we were saying, the win yesterday wasn't a pretty one, but it ended up being a pretty important one, not just because of the series, but just in the grand scheme of things for the history books. And if we're able to keep going through this postseason with more things like that, I think it'll really be a testament to how special this team and this season could be.
Yeah, that's a big thing. It's awesome just to have storylines built around a team. Obviously, if a team could sweep the entire playoffs, that would be fun as well. But just adding these small little milestones from players on the franchise, just little things like this make things just slightly a little bit better as well. But what's your guys' thoughts on all of this? Obviously, what's your thoughts on Demko being named as a finalist? Do you think he will end up winning this? What's your thoughts on the Pettersson possibly dealing with an injury? And what other kind of awards do you think the Canucks are going to win? Do you think they get Coach of the Year with Tocchet? Do you think Quinn Hughes is going to win the Norris? What's your thoughts on everything we talked about? And with that, we'll get into everyone's favorite topic, which is comment of the day. And the comment of the day comes from Dave's. He said, "It was my birthday yesterday, and with 6 minutes left, I said if the Canucks could win it, it would be my best birthday gift ever. Thank you, Canucks. One thing that could be better, and I won't say it, it's just wait for us to win the big one. Go, Canucks, go." And just, I want to say happy birthday, Dave. Obviously, it's awesome to see that you're enjoying the videos and commenting on them. And if you guys want to be featured on the next episode of Canucks Digest on Comment of the Day, make sure to go down and leave a comment. While you're down there, leave a comment on maybe who you want us to just do collabs with. We have been reaching out to other creators. We do have someone lined up that we will talk about in a later video. But if you want us to collab with someone and get someone on for an episode, make sure to go down and leave them a comment as well. Tell them that we sent you. We'd love to have them on. But with that, that'll be it for this episode of Canucks Digest. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, share this with your friends, and take care.